Hey peeps, good morning, good morning. Welcome. It is Thursday, so happy Thursday to y'all. It's about 7 a.m. The sun is coming up. So I'm happy. I've been up for a little bit and I just wanted to come on because y'all, I feel like I feel like I'm in this place every time, or maybe every other video where everything's going well, I'm doing well, and then I just go left. And then I have to come on here and be like, oh my gosh, life has been crazy over the past few days because I don't listen. And I just be like, when am I going to learn? Like, when am I just going to live a life the way God intends me to live it and not have to deal with constant headache? Like, when is it going to happen? I need somebody to tell me when it's going to happen because it has yet to happen. So what's going on? I did talk to y'all yesterday. I've been fine. The week has been fine, but I just got ahead of myself once again. And every time I feel like every time God gives me an inch, I take that whole mile. Um, so it's really not a big deal. We're gonna start calling this my repentance diaries. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world, but I have been learning a lot of different tools and technology for different parts of my business. I'm realizing now. Part of frosting is there's a lot of work I need to do in the education space to kind of help me get the customers that I need to get them to understand what I do, and also be able to help right my customers who have challenges. So I'm learning a lot on my own, so I can share the information basically. And so right now, the big hottest thing that's happening is technology and how technology is being used or has the potential to be used to really make life easier, better, more functional, faster, all of those things. So basically, I'm doing the work so that my clients in the future don't have to do it. I can just inform them, tell them exactly where to go. They don't have to spend their time trying to research. As part of that, I'm learning a lot. Like, oh, there are all these tools that can help me be more effective in my business. Now, God has been sending me things like videos to watch and things to ask and all of that. I realize now for frosting, like for me to learn from my customers, I thought he was sending it for me to just use all over the place. And so I've spent the last few days using new apps and programs and stuff to try to make the love life run more efficiently. The love life, my assignment, the work he gave me, the number one thing that I'm supposed to do to get his word out to the people. The love life. I'm gonna assign automations to help me run the love life. Not run, because God runs it, but to steward it. That's the other thing. I don't even run this. This ain't even mine. This is not even mine. This is his. I'm just the steward. And I've just took it upon myself to just take somebody else's thing and hand it over to other people. So, as you can imagine, as I was stubbornly just moving forward with that when I was talking to God about it, everything was going wrong. Things didn't work the way they were supposed to work. The exports weren't working. And to be specific, I actually had been working to make the editing process more efficient. So I spend a lot of time literally going back to the video. And my videos are sometimes an hour long, and I post every single day. Now, y'all know I came on here probably a week or so ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, saying how I had like figured out a good way of being able to edit and have everything go up so I don't have to worry about it for the week. And I had this whole schedule. Don't know what happened with that. Don't know why I decided not to go back to that. I thought the solution was, oh, let me use these tools so that they can edit my videos for me. And then I'll just check what they did and then upload it. So you may have noticed in the past, maybe two, I think I only did two. I think I did two videos before this one. No, where am I? Sorry. That's two videos before this one. There are like a couple videos up on my channel that I would have posted in March. I'm recording this in March, so it's probably not gonna go till April. But anyway, whatever. There are a couple videos on my channel that look very different than my editing. Obviously, I'm not a professional editor, so I do what I can. And they align more with, I think, what I've seen from people who either they're using these apps or they have professional people on their team that are editing. Things are going really fast. The ums and the ahs are out. The pauses are out, and there's a lot of like zooming in and zooming out. And you can tell the difference if you watch my videos. Those were done not via me, but through AI, because I've been learning about AI tools, and I seem to think that I could just use them for God's work. And no surprise to you, I'm sure the answer was no. And so I've spent the last couple of days basically just wasting hours. Like nothing got done. Nothing was going right with the editing and the posting and all of that, and nothing else got done. Like I had in the beginning when I was getting everything up and running with the love life, then I would spend the whole day figuring this out and figuring that out. But at this point, like I just talk to the camera. There's not much, and I've gotten better at like blowing my nose and stopping so I can easily edit those things. It's not like I'm putting together vlogs and b-roll and all of that. Like it's not that hard to edit, right? But if it's a 50-minute video, I have to sit there for 50 minutes. But you guys also know I talk to you about the benefit of me watching back the videos that I edit. Like there's just a lot I catch when I sit, and I have to be intentional, right? Like one of the struggles I have sitting sometimes is just like I want to tinker, I want to do this, I want to do this and when I edit my videos, because I have to pay attention to the video and to the sound, I have to stare at the screen. I have to just sit and focus on the one thing, and it's like a whole different realm to listen back to what God is saying through me, and it hits me differently. And so that's a very important part of this process, not just about me editing videos and getting it up and getting it up and getting it up, but like I am like kind of relearning or learning some things that from my own videos, because God's speaking through me. So I have to spend that time on it. It's important that I do that, and it's important that I know what's in each video, and all of the things that I'm probably sure that I don't have to explain to you. But I don't know, something in me decided I was gonna go and use all of these tools to do that. So the past couple days have just been a bust. I really, and every day I'm just kind of like getting frustrated, getting more frustrated, because I'm like, I didn't work on anything today except for the love life. And not that that's a bad thing, but like it was just to get out one video. And then I'm waking up early in the morning, date out video that goes up that same day. And like, it's too much. It's too much. So yesterday I finally was like, no more. Let me sit down and edit my own video. I did it. Back on track. I have 3 videos ready to go. Like the rest of the weekend is basically done. I have one more that I need to like upload, and I've been able to get things in order and understand what I need. What I need to check, whatever. I'm back on track, y'all. I'm back on track, thank God. And so that's where I am today. I also, in this latest video, I think I was talking to you all about a video I just edited. I was talking to you all about the church and how I like don't feel like I'm fed through the church, and how I know I'm here to serve, but not quite sure how. And I don't know that I've given you an update yet since we've gotten on the new pastor, but and I don't want to jump far ahead of myself. We're taking in baby steps, and it's funny. I think I did share that I sat down with him and his wife, and we talked for a very long time, and we got a chance to get to know each other. And one of the things that he said was his word for the year. Oh my gosh, I just forgot the word. I don't know why I want to say scale. It's not scale. The word for the year is oh my gosh, y'all, I forget the word. This is crazy. Hold on. Pace. Pace. So the word, his word for the year is pace. And basically my understanding of what he meant by that is just like pace, right? Like take your time. And not just take baby steps, but just pace yourself. Don't rush out to try to win the race right away. Pace yourself. Pace yourself, because we know that along the way there are going to be challenges. Along the way we're going to get tired. Along the way we're going to be exhausted. Along the way other people are going to come in and try to interrupt us. We have to pace ourselves so that we can make it to the end. And so when he said that, I was kind of like, okay, well, my word is focus. But I also received calm, which I need to receive, right? But focus is my word for the year. And he and or his wife and I seem to be very much aligned that pace is a challenge, it's a struggle. But he has a lot of ideas, he has a lot of things that he wants to do, but because he is, I hope that I am not rubbing against this microphone. He has a lot of ideas, he has a lot of things that he wants to get accomplished. Um, but because he's leading this word pace, like he's not being deterred from that. He is going to pace himself and pace us, make us pace together so that we can get to where we need to go in the right timing, in the right way, with the right resources, and not just rush through things, which I can appreciate. And yesterday I spent a lot of time. This week we're talking about marriage and submission, and not just submission to our husbands, but submission to the men in our lives who are hearing from God and who are meant to lead. And as part of that process, we need to know and be confident and faithful that those men who are in those positions, who God has placed here to cover us, are covering us. They're protecting us, right? And this idea of pace and knowing that this is the word and he's constantly pushing us to pace, even though we want to just like out the door. Um, I can tell that he is covering his wife and like directing, right? In this, nope, we're gonna pace. I hear you. Let's write it down. Let's keep it. Let's talk about it. Let's think about it. But we're not just about to jump out the window with it. And in the same way, he's doing the same with me, and she is doing the same with me. Like, all right, we got this directive. We're gonna pace. We gotta pace. And it's just so funny that all of these things are coming together because, like I said, I just did this conversation about submission, and I know the safety and the peace. That's the word. The peace that comes from knowing that Jesus is my covering. And I could just, you know what I mean? Like, I could just, I don't have to look left, right, up, down, behind. I don't got to worry about all of that. He got that. All I got to do is look straight ahead, right? All I got to do is focus on what he's given me, and everything else is covered. To sit in that peace, y'all. I know we want to be big boss ladies. I know we want to be in charge. I know we want to do it all by ourselves. But that is not, it's not as good as it sounds. To sit back and know, like, not only does somebody else got it, but somebody more competent, credible, resourced, bigger than me got it. And I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to figure out all those things. Like, I'm equipped with what I'm equipped with. I have resources that I am given. I have talents. I have gifts that I've been handed down, and I am great at those things. And all I have to do is those things. Everything else is covered. There is just peace that comes with that that's just inexplicable. And if I have not yet been able to find that peace in man, and y'all have heard me talk a lot about don't trust man, I don't trust God, and all of that. And I don't know that this is different than what I'm saying, but I do think that that way of thinking is broadening a little bit. As I think about submission, as I think about to the order that God intended for our lives, don't get me wrong, we are still dirt, we are still dust. We are, we have fleshly bodies. We are living in a world that is overtaken, but we are born again, right? And that born again comes with new rules, new standing, new opportunities, new resources, new ways of thinking. It comes with salvation ultimately. It comes with forgiveness, it comes with mercy, all of those things. And and like I said though, but it comes with that new understanding. And so as long as we are born again and we are walking in God and walking with him and walking under Jesus' covering and protection, there is opportunity for us to also be covered and protected by the leaders that God have put here. We cannot worship them. Um, we can't worship them. We can't put everything in them, right? At the end of the day, it's about glorifying God. But there are people that are following along with what God is giving to them, and they are leading us, and we can take solace in that comfort, in that peace. We can't get lazy and just start depending on them for everything and putting all of our eggs in their basket. We can't do that, but we can. Okay, we can just take that little sigh of, okay, somebody else is in charge, right? Somebody more competent than me, somebody that the Father placed there and gave a whole set of skills and resources to do this work, and is talking to them and is leading them and has given them a vision and a plan. And I don't have insight into all of it, and I don't need to have insight into all of it, but I know that I fit in it, right? And I know that as long as I keep that person in prayer, and as long as they keep their eyes on God, we can get this work done. And so I'm learning that. And I think in this new season, I'm so prayerful, y'all, that all works out well and that God's will is ultimately fulfilled through all of our collective work. But I am in a space where I had to submit to God. I had to learn how to say, yes, you got it. I didn't got it. You got it. I had to do that. And as we just talked about, I still have some missteps along the way. But for the first time, I am seeing how human man could possibly provide that covering for me here in the way that God intended. And like I said, we're talking about marriage, and I talk a little bit about we're talking about marriage this week, so it's already out. You've already seen it, and if you haven't, please go back and find it. Can't tell you where, how, or what because it ain't up yet. I'm in the midst of working on it, but in my point in saying all that is that right now, as I've been talking about marriage, I'm sharing a little bit more insight into my own and into the covering and protection that I am under through my husband. And because of just where he is spiritually right now, is a little bit shaky ground in terms of how God is leading him to lead us. Um, and I won't get into the ins and outs of that because one of the themes, if you have listened or will listen to the marriage series, one of the themes that I talk about a lot is I cannot speak for him. I can't speak for his standing. I can't speak for his perspective. I can't speak on where he is. I can only speak on what I have experienced. And so, like I said, I'll just say that it is not perfect. It is not, um, God's role is not being fully respected, realized, or implemented. I'll just say that. And it's something that we're praying about, and it's something that we're working on, but the truth is the truth is the truth. And so, because of that, while I am in a much better place and much more willing and much more prepared and much more understanding about what it means to submit under my husband, it's shaky ground. So I say all that to say that now with my pastor and his family being entered into the picture, him being able to say, hey, y'all, this is how we're going to move forward is one of my first, not first, because it's one of the first times where I've had a leader um, being led by God, being sent by God, who has like kind of laid down the law and said, this is how we're going to operate. And so I'm looking forward to seeing more of that be revealed and learning, what it's like to be led by someone who is filled with the Spirit, and being prayerful that, like I said, what I am seeing with my natural eyes is actually what is happening in the spiritual, and that I know that God will be faithful to me and in showing me what I need to see. But I'm really excited, and I'm having faith that His plan is is lifting off. It's lifting off. I mean, it's been going forever, but now I get to finally see it. And I'm excited. I'm a little nervous though, because like I said, y'all know I be getting ahead of myself, and when I have an idea, I want to go. And I'm gonna have to learn how to have patience and how to be led. I'm gonna have to sit back and learn how to um, be under the tutelage of someone else. And so it's a little scary, but it's also exciting. It's kind of like what I've been saying I wanted, right? To have a spiritual lead. And now I'm getting one. And his word is pace. So I have to pace myself. So that's that. And the last thing I'll say about church is it's going, you guys. We were just talking last Sunday, my son and I, about how it just feels different than it had felt in the past, right? We've transitioned from this interim space. And this has nothing to do with the personalities and the people at the table. Maybe it does, but my understanding or what I'm trying to say right now has nothing to do with like, oh, one pastor was good at this and the other one. I'm not talking about personalities. I just think God is a God of order. And even this, right? Like people are meant to be here and do things. There's no middle ground. And for 2 years, we had an interim pastor. And I just don't think that that is in alignment with the way that God operates, right? Someone is placed in a position, they're placed in a position until he decides to move them. There's no such thing as in between. And so I think operating in that way for so long was definitely not in alignment with his will. And so even just forget who's at the table for a second, hear me out. Forget who it is at the table, forget what personality at the table, but knowing that there is someone permanently stationed in this role, I think gives God so much more to work with than someone who is, kind of, I don't want to say wavering because it makes it feel like the pastor was wavering, but the church, the body, the people presenting to him, here is your person that, we believe that you have chosen, build him, right? Strengthen him, lead him, guide him so that we will be good, right? It's kind of like us presenting God, here's the person that we believe you place here for us. We accept it, we receive it, and now it's in your hands. And I think by, taking on that full time pastor as a church body was a, one of our first acts of submission or positive submission or positive work towards God's plan. It was us saying, God, you got it, right? We believe you got it. And here is how we are demonstrating that. We're no longer like the church of Laodicea. We're no longer lukewarm, right? We are now coming before you. We might be cold. We might still be cold. We ain't fixed. We're not burning hot for you, but we've at least made a decision. We've made a decision to move from this middle ground and start to elevate ourselves. And now we're looking towards you. And I think because our pastor is young, because our pastor is, he's been assistant pastor for a while, he's been in church for a long time, but he's young and he is experiencing things and learning things and he's going to grow. And I think because we even submitted to God, that person, someone who's malleable enough for God to mold, shows a lot about the church's willingness and obedience to him, right? We didn't submit the person who's got it all together that looks perfect on paper and like, here you go, God, now lead us, even though we've selected, God placed someone here in the right place at the right time for us, and we agreed. We have said yes to God. We have committed to him as a church body. And I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the church for that. And I'm starting to finally feel home. I'm starting to finally feel at home. And again, it's the same church, it's the same people, the same set of challenges. But the past couple weeks since we have made the decision to have a full time, and when I tell y'all this unraveling as I talk to y'all, since we have made this decision, I have felt so much more in alignment. I don't feel that tug of like, why am I here? What's going on? Like, I don't feel it. I still feel like, okay, we need to do better. We need to do more. I want to see more. I want to help more. I want to do more. I want people to experience more. I still feel that, but I no longer feel like I am, I guess, walking in a misstep. Even though I don't know how the right ways. Let me just stop saying words. I was reading scripture the other day. I forget where it is. It was Paul, I think, and he was just saying like, just keep your words short and sweet because the more you talk, the more you just get yourself in trouble. because we just start saying extra stuff that nobody needed. God said just be obedient and believe in Him. That's it. We don't gotta start adding on promises and saying things that we can't keep. Just be quiet. Just say what you mean and stop. So I can't think of the words I want to say, so I'm gonna just stop before I dig myself into a deeper grave. But I feel more in alignment, and I believe it is because we have made that first step. We got a long way to go. We got to pace. This is hilarious because when I tell you yesterday we had a good laugh, the pastor's wife and I about pace and how we are struggling, and now today here I am in full on full circle alignment. But yeah, I believe that. I believe that because we have finally made that decision together as a body, we are now in the walking towards the will of God, and we will have more opportunities to get it right. And I pray that we get it right every single time. And if and when we don't, that we can learn from those. It can be learning experiences for us. So church has been really well. I can see my son like stepping into who he's meant to be. He is like leaving the nest a little bit and kind of doing his own thing within the church, which is great. I'm starting to open up more and feel like I said at home, which I have never felt in that place. I feel like that's my church. Like it ain't perfect. We got work to do, but I'm happy to go and do it. And even the people, right? Like a lot of the blockers I think I had of like, oh, this person is only going to do this or this person doesn't want to do that. I'm starting to see those things kind of melt away and maybe see the hearts underneath it. It's beautiful, y'all. I'm so excited. Like I want to go. Can't wait to go on Sunday and like do this or talk about that or see this person or follow up on this thing or just be in the building, which I just haven't felt. And like I said, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of spirits. There's a lot of hearts. There's a lot of transformation. There's a lot more understanding that needs to happen, but it finally feels like we're on the right track, and I'm just so proud. I'm so proud, and I'm just thankful to God that He kept me through this, kept me obedient, and probably made promises to me, and they are coming into fulfillment. And so, while I'm happy and excited, and I'm thankful, there's a lot of work to do, as I keep saying, and there's a lot more prayer that needs to happen. And so, that is going to be my constant prayer that we can continue on this elevation from lukewarm to hot. I want to be burning with His love. So there's that, and y'all just pray for me and pace. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go back to editing, and I'm prayerful that my sound was not a mess. Ooh. All right, talk to y'all later.